Hey everyone, this is Tara. I am the Painted Cicada, and welcome to Artist Inspiration. I've had so many questions about this. This is something I used to do. I actually started it during COVID in the very early months of COVID, and I really liked it. And it was just an opportunity for me to take a few minutes out of my day, look at some pieces from an artist that I enjoyed, and to kind of take inspiration and recreate. Not necessarily recreate a piece, but use that inspiration to create my own piece. Good morning, Nora. Welcome. If you're here, feel free to say hello. I thought a lot about how to do this, and where I landed was I'm overthinking. So what I'm going to do today is just show you several pieces from Georgia O'Keeffe, and we are going to go from there. So I mentioned that this is not the first time that I have taken inspiration from Georgia O'Keeffe. I actually did an artist inspiration session on her. So I would like to first share some of those pieces that people created from the artist inspiration, because they are absolutely beautiful. And these are not my pieces. These are pieces that other people had created. So those are just a few fun things. Good morning, Suzanne. Those are just a few fun things that were created last time. And if you're interested in creating a floral, I do have the Georgia O'Keeffe Artist Inspiration available on my YouTube channel. Hi, Diana. Today I'm going to go in a slightly different direction, just because I am typically a floral artist. I love making flowers, but since I have already done something with florals, I'm going to switch it up a little bit. And so today I'll show you a few pieces from her. I have a book here with some florals, but since I'm not going to focus on those, I'll just flip through quickly so you can see some of her artwork. One of the things that I really like about Georgia O'Keeffe's artwork is just kind of the way she ripples her florals. And she does the same thing with her landscapes and her abstract. She worked a lot with watercolor, and she created a lot of beautiful texture. And I really like that. A lot of her florals were very close up, and I think she really captured kind of the delicate ripples and just the beautiful petals. So here are some of her florals. And another thing that I can show you, let's see, let me share my tab here. Okay, another thing that I can show you is there is actually a Georgia O'Keeffe museum, and they have her artworks available to view online. And so when you pull it up, you'll see that there is a wide variety in the things that she did. So she also created quite a bit in black and white. She did pencil sketches and pen and ink sketches. She also did some sculpture, but she was really interested in the flow and in kind of that delicate curving lines is what she's known for. So she has a wide variety in the things that she did, even though she's well known for her florals. She was, I don't want to say obsessed, but she was really enamored by the beauty of New Mexico. So she has quite a few landscapes as well. So the website is o'keefemuseum.org if you have any interest in looking that up. Of course, a simple Google search will also bring up a lot of really beautiful images. What I am going to do today, and I am going to take inspiration from her kind of just beautiful rippling lines. And I think that I am going to create something more similar to her abstract style. So I'm going to show you a few of those type of works that I'm going to take inspiration from. And so some of these pieces, this is actually one of her landscapes, but it's very abstracted. I'm just going to take inspiration from her colors and her lines, and I'm going to create an abstract piece today. So I encourage you to take inspiration in whatever way that you'd like. As you look through some of these images, find one that appeals to you and take that as inspiration. You can take inspiration from the colors. You can take inspiration from her florals, from her abstract, from her landscapes. You can recreate one of her pieces, maybe in a different medium. I've decided to work in watercolor today, but the idea is just to take a few minutes and be creative. So whether you're working in watercolor or colored pencil or marker or acrylic paint or alcohol ink or gouache or whatever it is that you want to work with today, I've seen many, many beautiful things created in all types of mediums, so don't feel like you have to do just as I do. So those are the things that I am going to take inspiration from today. If you want to create along with me, what I'm going to do is use watercolor paper and watercolor. Give me just a second. Let me clear off my desk a bit. All right, so maybe I'll turn my piece sideways. I use a variety of different watercolors, but today I've just I've got sets of these Prima Marketing Art Philosophy watercolors, and they just come in these fun little sets, and so I think I'm just going to pull one out and use one of these. If you're not familiar, these are kind of a nice mid-grade watercolor set. If you get them when they're not on sale, if you can't find a sale, they're about $30. If you are a bargain shopper like I tend to be, you can usually find them on sale or use a coupon and get them for about half off. My pens. All right, so I'm just going to start creating, and I encourage you to just get out some stuff and create along with me. All right, so I think what I'm going to do, I'm really going to be kind of playful with this. Whenever I'm working with watercolors in a pan set like this, I like to just get a little water in all the spaces just so they are ready to go. I'm just going to kind of go for it. One of the things that I have taken from Georgia O'Keeffe is just the variation of color that she uses. So she plays a lot with light and dark, and so I'm going to kind of make my edge lines nice and filled with pigment, and then I'm just going to pull some of that out so that there's some variation. And so for this, what I did was I created the edges with the dark, not really dark, but I painted the green watercolor on the edges, and then I just used watercolor, or I used water to pull some of that towards the center. So I put color around the edges, wipe off my brush, and then I'm just going to use water to encourage that to blend outward into that center. And I'm not sure if that's how Georgia did it, but that's how I'm doing it. If you're interested in doing something similar and you don't have watercolor, acrylic inks will behave similarly as long as they don't dry first. And you can thin down your acrylic paint to do the same thing. And so I'm just adding some flowing shapes. And because I'm working in abstract, I'm really just playing. There's no vision of flowers or anything in particular going through my head. I'm just taking inspiration from her color palette and her lines. And one of the things that I kept kind of as a focus of mine when I did the previous artist inspiration sessions is that I made it a priority not to have a piece of her work in front of me. And what that did was it caused me to think about her work, vision it in my head, and that way I wasn't really copying. I was taking the things that I remembered and loved about her pieces, or whoever's, pieces that I was working with, and I went from there. So if you're struggling with recreating, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to recreate a piece, that's perfectly fine, and there's a skill in that as well. But when I do these, try to just take inspiration I think it may be evident that I am not typically an abstract artist at this point, but I am having fun. All right, so this is kind of my first version of this. I'm going to mute and I'm going to dry this, and then I'm going to add just some finishing touches on mine. Okay. For those of you who do work in watercolor, you may have noticed I flipped over my paper as I dried. One of the reasons why I do that is because the number one reason why your paper will buckle is because one side dries faster than the other. And so if you dry both sides, it's not going to flatten it completely, but it will flatten it enough that it's helpful. So I do think this is kind of a fun abstract here, so I might just add a little more depth of color around the edges, but I wanted it to be dry so that I don't get a whole lot of bleeding. In general, watercolor does have a tendency to dry a little lighter, so sometimes adding just a little more pigment can be helpful. And I did kind of recreate the effect that Georgia O'Keeffe has, where there's a lot of lightening in the centers of her colors. I really do like that. So now I'm just kind of playing with the colors that I put on here and making spaces lighter and darker depending on how they dried. And I think I am finished with my piece. I'm pretty happy with it. I really tried just to kind of capture some of that flow, some of the colors that she used, where she took inspiration from the colors of the Southwest. And I don't think I got too florally, even though that's where I tend to try to go. And so now I get to just decide which orientation I feel like this piece looks best. I think I like it the way that I made it. I think I like it like this. So thank you everyone for joining me. These artist inspiration sessions, I am going to do them once a month. They were pretty popular the first time around that I did them, and I'm going to continue to do them because I love just looking at other pieces of art and taking inspiration and making them my own. So I hope you'll join me next month for Artist Inspiration. I hope those of you who didn't understand what this was going to be like have a better understanding of what I'll be doing. I hope that you have found inspiration from Georgia O'Keeffe, and I cannot wait to see what you've created. If you would like to share with me, you can always join me in my Facebook group. It's called the Painted Cicadas Art and Share. You can always just do a search for it, or you can type that address in the address bar and share your piece. I can't wait to see them. And thank you so much for joining me. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I will see you next time. Stay creative, everyone.